Today we have a couple things to cover, from Hurricane Debbie to auditory processing disorder, and we're going to start with the most obvious thing, the weather forecast of what's coming up in the sky, which is the storm surge and the amount of rainfall expected. Where's that map? Right there. Alright, let's get this on screen here. No, that's thoughtful too. Oh, okay. There we go. Here we go. The map here is the first thing we're going to focus on. They're expecting, this is from Stan CT, up to 30 inches of rain in the next few hours as of tomorrow, when the hurricane makes landfall in Florida. Okay, so this is a big one. This is the one that's gonna be an issue for Ed, as he looks like he's gonna be in the dark red area, and it looks like it's gonna make it bigger. You can't really make it bigger. No, not really. Looks like it's about 30. Well, it's definitely a lot of rain anyway. Yeah, it's a lot of rain. Definitely in the dark red areas. The rain's gonna come in. So, that's the first thing is Michelle told, when I told Ed, I said to Ed, Ed, since he didn't know where the emergency evacuation shelter would be, call 211 and ask him if they have a list of the evacuation shelters near you. He's living in a mobile home, and as such, in a mobile home, unless properly attached to the ground, is likely to go flying. If this goes much stronger than the storm is expected to be, which I believe is it's going to be pretty big. Let's see if we have a link to the story here on Fox News. Fill in with the current information here. Let's see. It's probably on the top of the tree. Advanced notice. No, that's not it. No, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Gee, doesn't even check the Fox News weather alone. Okay, Fox weather. Yeah. Okay. Her tropical storm Debbie continues to strengthen ahead of Florida landfall as a likely hurricane. Tropical storm Debbie continues to rapidly strengthen in the Gulf of Mexico Sunday, with a trajectory towards Florida's Big Bend, and impacts are already being felt in the Florida Keys and across the southern Florida. The National Hurricane Center's current forecast suggests that Debbie could become a hurricane before landfall on Monday. The majority of the Sunshine State remains under a state of emergency, as officials urge residents to prepare before the weather takes turn for the worse. Okay, so it's like I told Ed, if you don't know where your emergency preparation shelters are, plan ahead to get out. As if it gets bad enough, it's going to mean just that. You're going to be dealing with some bad stuff coming. Hello, how you doing, Carolyn? To be free. Welcome to the show today. Welcome to the special report. We're covering it all of our channels today simultaneously. At least 5 of them anyway. I couldn't carry on every single channel because there isn't enough slots to cover in every single one of our frequencies. But we are covering it, and we also have another topic we wanted to cover originally besides the hurricane tropical storm event. But that event just happened to be a little bit higher precedence, and so that's why we're covering that first. Another thing we want to cover is something that Noodle said last night on Michelle's conversation and I wanted to talk a little bit about Michelle's hearing. Because the people have, I did not know all this. Michelle did clarify a few things to me. We also have another guest here today. Carmen is here today to help give what information she knows.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the show.
So when did you start having hearing problems? About 13. Actually, a little bit before that, but it was started really becoming physically apparent about 13. Okay, so this is a problem that existed pretty much all your life. Yeah, the hearing loss issue is pretty much one I experienced my whole life. My parents used to say, "Oh, MicheleMarieDalene wants to hear what she wants to hear, Ramalama Ding Dong," and things like that. And, which really kind of made it awkward because that's not really the truth. So my parents were making excuses and letting me go to see a special otologist and doing advanced testing to find out what was causing the problem. They just made excuses back in those years. So what you think if you had caught it early enough, you probably would have been better off? Yes. Okay. What do you think, Carmen, for Michelle, do you have a perfect picture of what it's like with hearing loss? I can give a picture from last night that was very much like it was last night with the hearing loss, because this is exactly what it felt like. Oh, shit. I keep looking at the picture. Explain it to me. Oh, you have your older lady. She's wearing headphones, probably using an amplified receiver. Okay. And everybody's frustrated. Some people are talking to her and to other people's. Some of them are like saying, "Why are you ignoring us? Why are you ignoring us?" And they're all speaking in unison, and the poor woman is just sitting there going, "I can't understand a word you're saying."
Well, that can be a problem, but I think there's a way that Michelle doesn't have that quite as bad on the live show.
Yeah, let's talk about that. What we did simulate in effect what it sounds like from Michelle using some software. So let's try to demonstrate. This is the perfect sound of what we sound like. This is what we sound like when you're near the speaker in an auditorium. And this is what it sounds like when you're way in the far back in a large room like an auditorium or stadium. You'll notice it's very hard to understand anything we're saying. Right, let's switch back to mid-room. Okay, so now we're sitting near the speaker, so it's still echoey, but it's not as bad. Exactly. Okay, but that's kind of what it sounds like. Now, what does it sound like for you when you got background noise as well? Let's just simulate that. Let's play it background like if you were at a concert. So let's just play some audio like if you were at a concert. Now, let's make the concert bigger. Now, you're talking over that and you can't hear anybody because everything is, even when the sound level is fairly normal, your brain is mixed up between the music and everything else that's going on. Exactly. So how in the heck do you fix that? There's a otologist that's doing research into that now. She's working with children right now to fix that problem. But there's nothing really being done for adults. Okay, so with adults, there's not really much research being done on it. that there's being some research being done for children with auditory processing disorder, but nothing for adults. No, not to my knowledge. Well, okay, so what do you do? That's just it. See, my parents noticed the problem when I was younger, but they just basically wrote it off. They thought it was selective hearing. Yeah. And because of their lack of understanding, you believe that it kind of hindered your socialization and growth. Yeah, I think so. I'm not really sure because I've never been good at words. But your parents always thought and said that's like because you always seemed to them you always seemed to misbehave, that they wanted to keep you out of social environments, and you think that in addition to lack of training to deal with auditory processing disorder, that has resulted in affecting you as an adult, even in social situations where noise levels would be just too high and too loud. I believe so. I'm not really absolutely sure. Because one of the things that we have here in the studio is we have perfect control over the sound. We can make the sound beautifully perfect and beautifully sculpted. And we have equalizers and compressors, and we are going to have an open panel and PUR in a bit. But let's just talk about this for a bit. So yes, we have access to all these tools. We can do so many things. We can make the perfect sound. You have another picture that you also did of what it's like with what's inside of your mind is like during a social event where you get into problems. Yeah. Okay, so this is another picture, folks. Explain this one to me. It's just like a library. Yeah, it's all nice and neatly. Got a large collection of books. Notice all this stuff on the ground. Yeah. The little things in the atmosphere floating around. That's in another picture, but this one's a little more easy to understand. That even though you're well organized inside your mind, it's like everything is so scattered. Let's go to the other picture Michelle first created, because I think that one kind of explains it better on one level. Michelle tried so hard to create the perfect picture. Notice all the stuff floating around. Yeah. That's what happens when you're in your social environment. It's like you're listening and seeing all the stuff going on, and your brain can't make any heads or tails out of it all. And so you get lost, confused. Your social anxiety climbs up a lot because you can't understand. Good morning, good afternoon, Gitchy. Welcome to the show today. Welcome. Yeah. Now, Carmen, what do you think? How do you think this would affect Michelle, and say, if she was a professional dancer in a theatrical production? She wouldn't be able to understand the orders given by her coach. If they're playing the music in the background and her coach is trying to give her instructions rehearsal, she would absolutely lose it. She would not understand the orders or what is being said. She'd just go, because the music would be beating against the coach's words, and it would be absolutely impossible for the coach to work with her like a dance troupe. A lot of people dancing like a coordinated dance. Unfortunately, I think that's one of the reasons why Michelle would be, in this lifetime especially, would have been a really very big liability for any kind of coordinated activity, including working in an office. I can verify the office. I believe you. Alright, because you got your office noises, you got your computers, phones ringing, people typing, talking on the phone, and then when your boss says, "Hey, I need to talk to you," and you're like, "Me?" Exactly. You wouldn't be able to do that. That's very scary out there. But I think for last night, I think was extremely scary for you. Um, Thank you very much, KJ. I asked Michelle to create the artwork for this, but I definitely have to admit I love this one, because you can see all those people that are getting frustrated at her saying, "Take off your damn headphones and listen to us. We're trying to talk to you. Are you listening to us?" The whole room is sitting there trying to talk to Michelle. "Are you trying to hear us? Can't you hear us? We're trying to tell you something." But what's happening in her head is it's starting to sound like mashed potatoes. Nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense in that situation. That's one of the reasons why Michelle likes to do things in studio, like she does, because then she can control the sound and get it perfect. And yes, I agree. It's not healthy, but it is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. So let's get some people open up PUR. But before we do that, is there anything that Michelle's parents should have done? Yes, I think that they, even though the research was very limited at that point, I think they should have had her see a otologist early on, and maybe a specialist on autistic spectrum if she was diagnosed as a child. And maybe she wasn't, but maybe if she was, that maybe we could have avoided a lot of the problems that she has as an adult. She could have been very much a member of society and successful. More so than now. She's successful in her own way. Now, we're not even dealing with the eyesight issue. No, that's a whole nother story. But how come Michelle can understand me and you? Because we are right there in front of her and we work directly, both internally and externally, through clear audience and also out loud speaking. We actually work together as if we're using two channels to make sure that the signal's getting through to her brain. Plus, we also are talking in a quiet environment. The Trump rally, or the Trump store, was not a quiet environment. The Trump store was more like this. All these people talking at each other, talking to each other, talking across to the other side, and Michelle was sitting there and totally wrapped up in a dazed and confused by the noise level. Even though it was pleasant noise, it was still noisy. Yeah, I go with that. Did you like going? Yeah, I like going. Um, but I mean, I have social anxiety too. Yes, you do. Unfortunately, you do. But you did find talking to a few small group people outside a Noodles van, and yeah, we had to go outside in a small group. Yeah. So let's get the panel open, guys. PUR will be the panel today. PUR is the panel. We'd love to have you come on up, turn on closed captions so we can hear each other. And let's see if we can keep Michelle from having a brain go out there with a boom, if you know what I'm saying. That'd be a good idea. Oh, absolutely. Let's see if we can get a conversation going. Let's see if we can talk about this. And we're hoping that maybe some people might have suggestions if there's any things that can be done for the adult with auditory processing disorder. If there's anything, I really would like to see Michelle get ahead. And I know that she wants to get ahead. But the social anxiety is an issue in my life. It just doesn't go away. As long as you can't be sure what you're hearing or what you're seeing, it will never go away.
But once we now know what's causing some of the problem, and it goes all the way back from your teenage years, we can't change the past. But is there any way we can fix the future in the present?
Oh, yeah!
PUR is the link, guys. PUR is the link. Always have PUR is the link. Would love to have you come on up today and talk. This is a multi-channel, multi-stream, multi-link, multi-everything. Multi-anxiety inducing. Well, you know what? It's funny. What? Did you enable the stream on this one? I did, yeah. Oh, well, that's not the right one. That doesn't matter anyway. Watching us anyway. Yes, we have 3 on our side. That's good. Okay, close that window now. Why? Because I don't want to use up all the bandwidth trying to watch your channel, my channel, and everybody else's channel. Aye, Captain. Okay. Also, I think it's very important that we cover this. How come? How come what? What do you mean by how come? Come on, talk to me. What do you mean by how come? Are you in New Hampshire? No, we're in Connecticut, actually. We're in Connecticut. Yeah, we're Connecticut based. And, so we tend to, cover a lot of stuff at the Connecticut. Like, you say, like Louise and me and Noodles did. I went with Noodles to the Trump store and picked up the hat. This was giving my Stancy tea. I grabbed another few things too. I talked to the guy named Ken. He gave me a lawn poster. Unfortunately, I left it in Noodles' car. I didn't bring it upstairs, and I don't know when Noodles is going to send it my way. Well, that's fine, Red, but right now, let's try to get the audience that wants to actually engage. We actually started a little early, because we wanted to cover first the rain storms that are coming in. Right, the system storms that are coming in. This is interesting. Well, I'm glad you find it interesting, but let's see if we can figure out how to make it. We need to do some more research into this. And then Noodle said to me, after he explained that he wanted some of my elf ears, I didn't have any extras to give him, but I was surprised he asked me for the elf ears. I was thinking about something else. I was on my show at the time. It kind of totally threw me for a loop. Thus, the feeling, the frustration of Noodles there, trying to yell at Michelle. Hey, Michelle, I'm trying to tell you something. Can't you hear me? Your amplification ain't doing crap for me. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, it doesn't always work for Michelle. No, it doesn't. Yes, my elf ears. He wanted elf ears. He wanted me to give him a pair of elf ears. But the thing was, is I don't have any extras. And even if I gave him some, he'd still have to get the adhesive to attach them. If he still wants elf ears, Michelle can buy elf ears for him, but I don't know if he's going to wear them. Just like Michelle gave Cruiser elf ears. He wore them out the glue and then he lost them. The old ones, the old quality Ukraine ones. Yeah. I would be willing to try Dimitri again and see if he finally got his production facilities up to snuff, but Michelle, honestly, I
think he may have finally begun the process of ramping up his production better. But I just can't afford to keep throwing money away to try to find out that his ears are still shit. Well, okay, that's a good valid point. Is his ears quality really good? I don't know. I can't be sure if his ear production's good or not. Ah, okay. So, in short, you don't know if his production's good. No, no. Unfortunately, no. We can't be sure if production's good because you see, Dimitri still had just moved his production to Scotland, right? And because he moved it to Scotland, he unfortunately did not have the production quality yet established. Exactly. So, because of that reason, we didn't know where his production was or how his quality was going to go on or anything. So we ordered some ears. He had a couple pairs of the old ears in the old mold, but the problem was that they was using new latex that was super thin, and it just came out terrible. Now the latex is turned into glop, and it's turned into glop, and it's totally degraded to the point where the ears look like they're gonna snap. They're gonna just rip. They're all shriveled up. They're all so the doing this on Lumi's channel when you're on Michelle. Well, normally my show is on my channel 3, but we wanted to make sure that both audiences were watching it because so many people unsubbed from Michelle's channel but still are subbed to my channel that we wanted to make sure that everybody sees it. And then, of course, some people are signed up to the IC1 channel. So we're sending the link out to the IC1 as well. So we're trying to make sure that people know that we do have a hearing impairment and that we're trying to help people who may have the same problem to realize that they're not alone. And I'm hoping that others will come forward and talk about their situations in their own lives and how they manage to work around it, which is a good question, especially for adults that were not diagnosed as children. Is how did you overcome or find a solution to work around your auditory processing disorder? And then, of course, you're aging too. When you're aging, your brain is kind of fixed in its ways. It's not like when you're a 5 or 10-year-old, where your brain can modify its neuron routing to overcome certain difficulties. As an adult or diagnosed as an adult, how did you find a solution to overcome your difficulties with auditory processing disorder? First of all, auditory processing disorder is not exclusive to people with autistic spectrum disorder. They can be separate. Yeah, they can be separate. You could have auditory processing disorder and have no signs of autism at all, or you could have autism and have no auditory processing disorder at all. But a large portion of cases, the two are often seen together. Right. No, these are over-the-ear headphones that remove a lot of background noise, and they're not noise canceling. They're just regular over-the-ear headphones that I plug into my mixer board, which allows me to get sound right into my ears in a way that's allows me to remove as much background noise, like the fans and things like that, that may be heard in the studio. So that's what it does.
We tried other headphones that didn't work as well as these. These things are just the best because these 50 millimeter cups fully cover the ear and allow the sound to be transverse right into the ear canal. Oh, kind of similar to an airplane pilot. You're right. That is the same reason as the boom microphone on those. So that a pilot could talk to the control tower in an environment like a noisy cabin, and also talk to each other over the noise of the cabin as well. So in that case, yeah, they do the same basic job as the headphones used by pilots, especially on choppers, which have a very, very loud environment inside. Yeah. Good morning, Stan. CT, how you doing? The people want to hear from Ed. I already talked to Ed just now, a little while ago. Okay? He does not have an evacuation plan in place. He doesn't know where the evacuation centers are. I told him to call 211 and ask where the evacuation center is that's close to where he is. And told him, he mentioned he didn't know what storm surge was. I said, well, storm surge is the water is going to rush ahead of the storm. And it's going to cause the flooding. I said, you're in a mobile home. You need to get out. Because unless the mobile home is probably attached to the ground, you are likely to find your home while being floating away. So he now knows that he has to call 211 and plan his evacuation route accordingly. And I already talked to Ed. Michelle already called him. She just called him a little while ago, Stan. Stop being a pest. We already talked to Ed. He's going to call Michelle's going to call him tomorrow afternoon as well, after the morning show. Okay? So she's going to try to get in contact with him tomorrow. Michelle told Ed that she is going live. She gave him the information on where she was going live. He knows where her show is. He knows what the notifications are. He is here, able to watch it and interact with us. Fire said storm surge is exactly what he was worried about. Yeah. Oh, I did, trust me. Michelle doesn't like to talk to Ed a lot because sometimes Ed has a habit of getting under Michelle's skin. And she did want to talk to him in private about it, so she did talk to him about it. And Michelle asked Ed to call you, Stan, so keep your eyes on the ringy-dingy because he's going to call you, okay? And in fact, why don't you call him yourself and cover him on your own show if you're really so worried about it? Let me just say one thing in Michelle's defense here. Stan. Michelle did call Ed. Okay? Lumi originally had another topic to cover. The storm, of course, took precedence. She decided to cover the storm first. With the storm surge and everything, Ed didn't even know what he was going to do. He had no plan. He had no idea how to find out where the evacuation center was. Michelle told him, call 211 and ask them if they can tell you the nearest evacuation center. Because Florida is most familiar with hurricanes. Now he has the responsibility to call them and find out and plan ahead to get out. That's all she can do. Yeah. That's exactly what I agree with Carmen on that. That's exactly what I also told him. That's what Michelle told him. Anybody in hurricane damaged area, get on the phone immediately and call 211 and find out where your evacuation center is. If you do not know, get ready to go there as soon as you can before they get full. Yeah. Do you like it? Am I where? I think he's making fun of you. I sense that. Well, I'm not here to make fun of anybody. I'm just telling you, originally I came for a whole different reason to discuss the auditory processing disorder for what little I understood and how it affects Michelle's life. This storm, Debbie, came up as an afterthought, but then it became the main topic. It's right now is likely to hit Florida as a Category 1 hurricane with 5-foot surge, 30 inches of rain, about 60 something centimeters of rain. Either way, it is. It's already starting to affect the Florida Keys and southern tips of Florida. The winds, a storm. So we are aware of this. Pull that map on the screen so I can show that to them. Absolutely. One map coming up. It's the rainfall. Rainfall. How many times do I have to feel like... You feel like sometimes like you have to repeat yourself and beat your head against the proverbial wall? Yeah, a lot of the times. Alright, so here guys. There are expected inches of rain. And it is up to 12 inches. However, by Georgia area, you got the deep purple that could easily be 30 inches of rain. And it looks like it moved a little bit. Actually, it was because we're looking at the other screen. So he might see 12 to 16. He might see 12 to 16 inches of rain, guys. The most important thing here is if you're not planning ahead to evacuate, make sure to arrange for your funeral. Because unfortunately, it's going to take your mobile home and you. And you're going to go down in Davy Jones' locker. If this system blows it outright, there's likely to be a lot of casualties. This is where you, individuals, need to make plans accordingly. It's not a matter of being nice, it's a matter of being realistic. Well, actually, right now we're doing pretty good at this point. Michelle's channel is doing pretty good, too. Yeah, my channel's holding its own, too. It's doing fine. It's doing pretty good right now. We have currently 3, which is, I guess, is fine considering we're spreading our audience far and wide among multiple channels. Yes, the Gulf Coast is useless. That's why I told Ed, which didn't know what his emergency evacuation center was, to get on the damn phone and find out where it is and get there. This is Lemmy's day. This isn't my day. And we're just covering it on... Originally, we are going to cover it for a whole different reason. But the weather did come up, and that's why we covered it as a special report. And I wanted to cover a different topic on all these channels at once. So, for the time being, with the weather out of the way, let's deal with the next topic. Good idea. As some of you may know, yesterday Michelle was in a social environment that was very, very exciting, a lot of positive energy. But unfortunately, her auditory processing disorder and social anxiety were causing her some problems. And as you can see, the poor woman is standing up wearing something that you could say is auditory improvements. Everybody's pissed off and yelling at her for a variety of reasons, from the fact that she's not shooting vertical to the Noodles asking her to give him a pair of elf ears when she was in chat with a panel and totally befuddled by what he asked. This has nothing to do with migrant. I was the one who called the special report, not Carmen. I did. See that? That's me. I do that. Because it's important. I'm concerned because Michelle pointed out to me this morning when we were in the tub that she's always had problem when hearing. It's just that nobody and her parents really thought about sending to a specialist to have it diagnosed. However, I'll let Michelle answer that. Everybody said they just didn't think I really had a hearing problem. But you did, because your autism, you were always accused of bad behavior and told to stay home, and you couldn't go anywhere for social interaction. Right. So I never really got much outside activities, because everything was like, oh, she's too disobedient to go out, so she'll stay home forever and stay in her own little cocoon world. Which, unfortunately, at the age we're talking about, which is preteen, had an effect on Michelle's social ability. Of course, now as she got older, her hearing did start to degrade. But the autistic issues and the auditory processing disorder, which already existed, just got worse. Yeah. So, three hurricanes on the way. How you doing, Red? The problem is we're also concerned about potential hurricanes coming into New England as well, because the fact of the matter is we have very warm waters in the Long Island Sound area. We've had a very warm summer, which means that the warm waters also extend into Atlantic, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey. So there's a good chance that another Hurricane Irene or Sandy could potentially form as well and cause problems. We very rarely get hurricanes in New England, but we do get some. And right now the water's been very warm. It is theoretically possible that we could be seeing a New England hurricane out of this system's coming up. This one may be hugging the coastline. With the warm water, this one, Debbie could do a Sandy. Or maybe a Gloria. Yeah. Debbie does Connecticut. Oh my god, that sounds worse than the porn movie. I'm not a person into bets, but I'll tell you, it's not off the table. No, it's not. It's not off the table. Hurricane season just started. So, in fact, my hypothesis for the winter season coming up, because somebody asked me about that, is that we are going to be seeing a warm fall and a fairly mild beginning of winter as of December 21st, with a cool down near the end of winter, but nothing significantly appreciable in snow amounts. And just for the sake of argument, how do you determine that? We have very warm Atlantic waters this year. Because these hurricanes go where the waters are warm, and the Atlantic waters up here in New England are very warm. $10,000 what? Pennies? 10,000 pounds? 10,000 euros? 10,000 reals? Good question. Unless you have found some way of using HARP to manipulate the weather that is not being discussed, it is not off the table. It's not off the table at all. I think this sounds like a lot of what ifs, Michelle, who likes to do this every other about something that is not a problem. Mojo says, "Hi, Michelle. Yay." Let me see. I'm on both. I'm on both channels. We're on my channel, Michelle's channel, and Michelle's other backup Snow Queen channel. Yeah, we're covering all three. Right. And we need mods spread out on all of them because, she's also on Twitch and Kick as well. So we need mods over in Twitch and Kick. It's me, Glasgow, Dave taking another shot. Nocho said, Gidgy, she says hi to you from the other channel. Which one? The main one, I think. Right. So we had a long show last night. We had a good last night show as well. You did. You transitioned straight over from the trip home to the in-house show. It's a little tricky getting it to do that. Yeah, it was. But you did it, though. You did it. Stream is for tomorrow. Yes, I remember that. 5:25 a.m. And, yes, it's a multi-channel stream. So the first question is, what can we do about auditory processing disorder? I have no idea. You said that there was a otologist working with younger people, like teenagers and adolescents with this. Yes. Is there anyone working with adults with this? I don't know. I didn't find any research of adults with auditory processing disorder being research being done with. Take care, y'all. Okay, Gidgy, talk to you later, I guess. PUR is the panel link.
PUR is the panel link. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about stuff in general. Let's get the conversation going. And see if we can open some channels. Malcho says, I guess it's color of the week. What is? Now, I noticed Michelle Litley's been having a tough room. I mean, with the shows. What do you think about that room? I don't think you did too bad. I mean, you got the views. You got the numbers from yesterday. You got people watching you yesterday. You had a good... But the subscriber base didn't grow. No. Did the guy, Kenny, say he was going to watch your channel? I gave him my card. He said he was going to look at it when he had some time. So I'm going to assume 3 hour... Gidgy said, my son and I headed to the wharf for a yummy, fresh seafood dinner. Okay. See, no, actually, Gidgy's about an hour behind us. Yeah. Thanks, Sherry, yeah. I did not know anything about hearing and auditory stuff. I understand that you don't. A lot of people don't. Well, I mean, you can't change what didn't happen because I wish that they could have intervened when you were a teenager or early young adult before you got out on your own and fixed your hearing, but they didn't, so now you have to do it as an adult. I just don't want any more scenes like this. I really don't. I really don't want to have to go through that all my day in my life. I feel so isolated in that picture. Everybody's trying to get my attention, and I'm sitting there with my amplifiers on my ears, totally befuddled, confused, not sure what I'm supposed to be doing, who I'm supposed to be interacting with. And then we also set up a simulation of what it would sound like. Okay, so this is kind of like if you're in a large room with just a few people talking. And this would be like if you're in an auditorium, you can still understand the person. And in the same circumstances, you can hear us. But can you really hear anybody at all in the noise? Not really. Or this. Or when you got music playing and then people trying to talk to you at the same time in the background, and you're all misunderstanding everything because your brain is doing a heterodyne beat against the music and you. The result is it gets very confusing. Yeah, it does. It does. It gets very confusing. Actually, it's supposed to be simulating a large hall, like an auditorium. They didn't have one for stadium or outdoor adventures, like if you were at a Trump rally outside. That's about the best we can do to simulate what we're talking about.
Um, so if you can't pick out the sounds in those situations because you lack that kind of processing, well, some suggest hearing aids with noise canceling functions. And I know some over-the-counter ones do have that feature. Do you need to go for prescription ones, or can you use over-the-counter ones? I don't know. I can't afford to spend $900 to find out. Oh, that's but yet your hearing package of your thing does cover OTC hearing aids and some prescription ones. Yeah. That's fine. But you know what? Michelle isn't even checking her views right now. No, I'm not really checking my views right now. This is really Lumi's show. I'm just covering this because this is something she wanted to cover and discuss it. But obviously, my people on my channel, please do like and subscribe. Likewise, on my channel, we're trying to do something different today. So did you enjoy going last night? Yeah, I did. I think it was a little bit. It was kind of a controlled environment in the sense there was still a lot of noise, a lot of people. I still have to edit the video from last night, the A and B roll, get that ready to go, and but I will tell you that there was a lot of people there. There was a lot of people coming in from other states, including as far as Pennsylvania. And of course, New Jersey, and you also came from New Jersey, and some came from New Hampshire to Connecticut to experience the New England for Trump store. And there was a lot of material available. There was bumper stickers, there were pins, there was signs, there was clothing, there was t-shirts, there were hats. And the stuff was not free. It costed money. There's window decals. You have one. I have one over here, which is supposed to put on the window. Let me go get it for you. Forgot my cord doesn't quite reach. Let's get my cord up here. Okay, so we have these. Needles explained that this is like a decal that's supposed to go on your window. I got a poster too, or the yard sign. I accidentally left that in his car, and he didn't bring that upstairs. At least I didn't see it up here. Of course, I already had the hat from Stan CT. So I already had the hat. And so we had the hat on. At least now it's cool enough to wear the hat and the ears and the stuff at the same time. Yeah. Except I can't go, I go. What's a Michelle? Then we'll knock it off. So we covered a lot of things at the event. We held up the MAGA flag. We waved to the audience. A lot of people honked they saw me. They recognized me with the ears from YouTube. And it was pretty interesting. Maybe you should just upload it as it was raw so they could see all the hubbub and craziness. You could do that, but I don't think it's really polished enough to really be uploaded that way. Yeah. So Mojo's over here now. Thank you, Mojo, for coming over here, and I appreciate that very much. Now I remember the woman's name. Taylor Swift. Obviously, she'd like to give the stabber a swift kick to his kiwis, that's for sure. Without a doubt. People in the UK are very upset about that attack on children by a man who apparently is a Christian. Maybe he was trying to think he was doing the Christian right by favor by trying to kill Muslim kids or something, which is totally unacceptable. They do. They did like my ears. Unfortunately, I never thought I got a chance to meet the owner, Kenny, and he told me that they had expanded to 10 stores. 10 stores. Only thing with the ears is that they get caught underneath the hat. They get caught underneath the hat, and it hurts when they do that. So Michelle's got a small cranium. I do. Let's see if we can make this a little bit bigger. This doesn't have the little snappy things that some of these old hats do. This one has a Velcro strap. Yeah, a lot of people like the hat. A lot of people were excited to see the hat. With the glasses on top of that, now it's too loose. I think I like the old Velcros with the snaps on them better than I did. Yeah, I did too. Anyway, so yeah. Of course, now the hair's blowing your hair into your eyes. Oh, make sure you're pinching my ears again. I'm sorry. All right, okay. Anyway, so it was definitely a very large gathering of people, and everybody was having a good time too. It was just they had a person playing a drum. They're playing a marching pattern on this drum, and let's see. I don't know how I do these masks. Sometimes I swear to God, you should make this chat bigger. I can make it bigger. Like Sean, like I would say, make it so #1. Oh yeah, we can make it bigger. There we go. So sounds to be used to be a bingo hall. They couldn't be building the tunnels like the Jewish did, and oh yeah, they had an underground tunnel in Gaza, a secret tunnel for transporting vehicles. That was shown in Fox News that they have built underground tunnels to transport vehicles in and out of the Gaza Strip. So these people took some ideas from the Mexicans and put tunnels for vehicles, yes, complete vehicles to travel underground. They've been planning this out for a long time, guys. This is not new. This is not a new thing. Gaza's been up for dispute for years, so obviously building underground tunnels is not exactly hard to do when you already know that it's already a disputed territory. So, yes, they can do that. Just like underneath the hospitals, there were tunnels as well. Yes, there were. So they been planning this for a long time. This is not new. The people Palestinians have found ways to establish themselves for a long time. So what's on tonight's album tonight? We have a new album from Stan CT, and so we're going to be. I like how this looks. It's almost like you're supposed to be able to put this thing in glass in your window. Yeah, like a car. Yeah, let's peel and stick. But this looks like this can make a good. I'm afraid to stick it in my window because I'm afraid someone might try to shoot my window out or something. Or worse, you can't get it off the glass, so all of a sudden you damage the window in the process. Right. My neighbors are not very much Trump supporters. It's time for the allies to rally. Well, right now, the UK's Parliament, House of Commons, House of Lords isn't doing anything any more about it than the American Congress is, as far as the illegals go. And people are rightfully wondering why the leaders won't do anything about it. Unfortunately, Wishlist doesn't work here, Mojo, but I can get you the link and post it here if you want to join it. And the other link, let me go to my Discord to get that for you. Michelle never put bot tricks on my channel. No, I never did. So let me get some of the links together, and so let's do that. So go to general. Let's go to wish list first. Nat says, "Hey guys, I'm gonna give Discord a shot." Okay, welcome Nat. I am live. I am live on several channels right now. What? Do you have to type in caps? I didn't mean to. Okay. Wish list. Wish list. Alright, so. Oh, by the way, it reminds me. Botrix announced that they were having technical problems and that their YouTube and some of the other sites are down. Apparently, Discord is also offline due to a server failure. So, unfortunately, there is no Botrix and very many sites right now. How you doing? Welcome, Nats, to the show. We're on Lumi's channel right now, but welcome to you anyway. By the way, don't forget, tonight is going to be Silver Moon Radio, AM 1610 on Kick. Right. Do you think Noodles had a good time yesterday? I think he had a good time, but I think I don't always know. I have a hard time reading Noodles for some reason. I don't always know if he's having a good time or not. And that makes it hard because I don't know what Noodles feels. So you think Noodles had a good time, but you're not sure? No. Unfortunately not. We had a good time at that sports grill. We had you had a pretty plain meal. You had a half pounder with cheese and an order of French fries. That came out very good in both the burger and the fries. He had some deep fried pickles, some mozzarella sticks, and a beer. I didn't have a beer. I had a Dr. Pepper, and then they gave me a complimentary refill and a Dr. Pepper to take home, which we were nursing on the way home. Then we stopped at Dairy Queen for ice cream in Winstead. And so that we did a good thing about that. Yeah. And of course, oh yeah, Carmen, I forgot to tell you, I'm glad you're here. I was wondering when you want to talk to me again. You only said hi to me for briefly to discuss the hearing, and then even just I know, apologize. I suppose under client confidentiality, you're not going to be able to discuss the new client. No, I can't discuss the new client. Okay, that's fine. No one's expecting you to. But do you think that that ice cream looked delicious? It was all over your face. We tried to eat it without making a mess, having all the pieces fall off into Michelle's shirt. Unfortunately, we did not succeed. I had chocolate stains on my shirt. Yeah, you did. Well, still was refreshing anyway. I still don't understand why Noodles makes big deal about being in portrait. It's YouTube that does that. And Michelle and I and David S. Wingman and others have said that it doesn't work out good for portrait. For some people, and it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Speaking of David S. Wingman, where is he? He's probably on your channel. So I should go back on my channel and look and see who's there. You can. See. Let me see. Participants. Come on. Participants. We have Nads, Botrix, me. Restream by. Oh, wait, Botrix is there? So it appears. Okay. Okay, Botrix. Yeah, if you're there, able to do your homework assignment, get it done. Amen. There we go. Let's see if we get them out there. Yep, Botrix is working over here today. Wish list, a Discord link. And I didn't even know I was working over there today. I didn't either. But it was. So I'll pin it over here. Yeah, and pin it over there and yours too. I will. Supports Michelle's channel. Here it is. Hold on, where is it? The skull's right off the screen. I got it. Pin it. Alright. So. Alright, panel person. I got it. It's Stan. Hello, Stan. How you doing? Welcome to the show. All of us are here.
Good afternoon, Lumi. How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Lumi, do you understand that as an undocumented alien, you are obligated to vote for Kamala Harris?
No, I'm not voting for Kamala Harris.
Well, no, you don't understand. Your undocumented vote will be counted for Kamala Harris.
Oh, not voting for
Whether
Kamala.
you
I
vote
can't
or not,
vote anyway.
somebody will fill out a mailing sheet
I can't vote
In fact,
anyway,
your
so
trolls,
it doesn't matter.
Michelle's trolls, I have no doubt, will fill out a couple hundred mail-in sheets with Lumi and Finestra voting for Kamala Harris. I have no doubt about that. Just saying.
I'm not voting for anybody. I don't even have a green card. She doesn't. No. But it brings up an interesting question, Stan. It might be able to answer this. Somebody said you can get a second passport.
Yes, you can get a second passport from any of a number of countries. I mean, it's easier to get a second passport from a country where your parents originated from, or your grandparents, or whatever.
In my case, that would be Norway. Because my mom's Norwegian. My mom's
parents
Norwegian.
came from Poland, so I'm first generation American. I could get a Polish passport. Not easily, but fairly easily.
Yeah.
Do I want to move to Poland? I don't know. I haven't been there in 40 years. 42 years was the last time I went. So, a lot has changed since then.
Yeah, it was when YouTuber I was talking about this.
I need to go back and see my cousins there and how they're doing and all this sort of thing, and decide if I want to have a plan B option of a second passport with Poland.
Speaking of the EU,
I do have family there, so that's good.
Speaking of the EU,
you have family in Norway, no?
What do you
Michelle?
What's
Talk
that?
to Michelle this time. You have family in Norway, correct?
Yes.
And Lumi, where do you have family?
My mother's side, Kristiansand, where my mom is from.
Where? Say again?
Now I got uncles and cousins there.
Where?
In Kristiansand, Norway.
In Norway. So you're both from Norway.
So Michelle theoretically could go back on a familial visa as well. Yeah. The only thing is,
Michelle, Lumi, are you afraid to fly?
I kind of agree with Michelle on the flying. She's afraid it's going to make her hearing problem worse. Because it was flying that did some damage to Michelle's ears initially.
Well, that was Michelle's ears. That wasn't your ears.
Well, it's my ear. That's really the fucked up one. Let's decide. Yeah, it's Limmy's ear.
Well, so if your ear's blown out, what's the problem flying? It's already blown out, right?
Well, let me tell you how it originally got blown out first time. Michelle was playing around with firecrackers as a kid. Yeah, so that didn't help very much. No. That was a mistake.
And what were you doing with those firecrackers?
I lit them off. Unfortunately, I lit them off too close to my ear. That's pretty much how the hearing damage started. But this already had problems.
You weren't one of those psychopaths that would stick it in the rectum of a cat and light it, were you?
I was 13 years old at the time. Not exactly the smartest.
Right. You weren't a degenerate who would put a firecracker inside a cat's rectum and light it, were you?
No.
I hope not. Because that's the trait of serial killers,
Michelle's not that kind of a person, no.
They start torturing animals when they're young, and then they move up to people.
No, Michelle doesn't do that. Michelle's not that kind of person. She just...
Well, I don't know, Michelle. Michelle, formerly known as Michael.
It was a really tiny firecracker, and Michelle was like...
what he did when he was...
Michelle wondered just how much of a bang it had. The problem is it had too much of a bang. I had too much of a bang.
I have no idea,
Let's see, was it 22 caliber blank?
I have no idea about any of these people. You talk to these people all day long, here and there, and you don't know what they're all about. I mean,
no,
you have
Michelle
no clue
never...
Unless you meet somebody in person, unless you spend time with them, then you learn. Even like if you're in a relationship, with a woman or a man, whatever your flavor is, you're not going to find out the true individual for months or years. Sometimes,
well,
what the person's really about. So I mean,
Well, that's
internet type friendships and relationships, I think, are very sketchy at best. I mean,
that's where this
I know
channel
this.
kind of works out good because Michelle gets to show people her true nature as best she can. I think that's important to remember. Michelle doesn't play games on air. She tells you as it is. She shows you as it is. I want
Lumi, are you monetized?
no.
So you won't have a problem of Michelle playing a song off of that Dina Carter record right now, will you?
Yes, I would because this is live on Michelle's channel too. She's live on all her
Well,
channels right now.
right, but Michelle can edit that out later. You know, she does that all the time.
No, she would have to end her stream, and then she would have to.
So in the stream, I mean, why do you got to stream on 7 platforms?
Right, she's got Silver Moon Radio at 7 o'clock. Correct. That's where she'll play that record.
Okay. Well, guys, she's got Did I Shave My Legs for This album by Dina Carter, multi-platinum album, great album.
I was wondering what that song was about. I let it.
It had 3 #1 country songs on it. Strawberry Wine, How Do We Get There, and there was something else. Some other song on there was a #1 hit.
Oh, right now, most of people are on Michelle's channel watching right now. Yes, they're on my channel watching. So maybe we might do.
So, Lumi, what did you want to talk about today?
Originally, besides the weather, we were talking about auditory processing disorder and the fact that Michelle at a very early age, and it was never diagnosed by her parents, by an otologist, and properly diagnosed, and proper treatment wasn't done. And I researched it for adults. There was an otologist that is working with children with it, but there's no research on adults and treatment for adults to learn proper social cues to filter out sound. Because of bad behaviors as Michelle was a kid, her parents didn't let her go out to a lot of social events, which I think did not help Michelle build up the filters that she needed, which resulted in situations similar to this picture. There's your Michelle standing up, and everybody's yelling at Michelle, wondering why she's not hearing them. And she's got her hearing devices on, and she's like totally confused. Well, interesting.
Well, my question is, that's a failure on the part of Michelle's parents, I think. I mean, why didn't they notice this, and why didn't they address it when
Michelle?
Michael at that time was a child?
I think they thought Michelle just had selective hearing, and they don't think they really made a big deal about it. But as she got older, other family members started to notice it too, and they should have dealt with it when she was still in school. She lost out a lot because of that, and socially, and but now as an adult,
I can imagine. Yeah,
she wants to know how to fix it as an adult.
I think. Is it possible, Lumi, that you were just a figment, a creation by a lonely child, you know, who had no friends or had very little friends and had limited social interaction? Kind of created their own world.
Because my parents thought my behavior was unacceptable. They didn't let me go to parties. They didn't let me interact with anybody. I was kind of stuck home because they didn't think I had good behavior.
Well, why didn't you have good behavior? What were you doing? Were you shitting on the floor?
No,
or what?
No. I was just a hyperactive kid. That's just Michelle was. She always was hyperactive. And because she was hyperactive, I can't see
little Michael being hyperactive. I can't. I can see him sitting in the corner playing Pong on the TV.
Well,
you know?
After a while, that's what Michelle would do, was end up just playing with her Legos in the corner. That's all she did. She stayed away from kids. Even when she did go to parties, she did not interact.
Michelle, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Or is this Lumi? Michelle, this question is for you, and it's a serious question. I'm not making fun of you. I'm not poking
I know you're not. Go ahead.
fun of you, but I have a serious question, though. I mean, you were raised as Michael. for most of your childhood
Right.
until you switched over. I think you were in your 20s at the time, correct?
Yeah, about that. Yeah. That's when my name changed.
So
Yeah.
why do you refer yourself as a child being Michelle when you weren't Michelle? You were really Michael at that time.
My mom called me Michelle, and I kind of saw myself as Michelle. So everybody was called Michelle at the time too.
Because I've heard you say, you know, when Michelle was a little girl, but you were
Well, that's why
dressed as a
Michelle
boy this
associated
whole
herself
time.
as a
You know,
little girl. That's what.
I find that strange. You know. Well, look,
Whoa, it
you
is
you.
unusual.
I mean, I understand how you would identify. You could do one or the other. You identify as a woman. That's fine. You know, you do you.
Okay, well,
And I'm sorry that you went through all that in your childhood. You know. I'm sure it was
get back
horrid.
to something that
been dealt a shit hand. You know.
All right, let's get back to the original.
A shit hand with all your stuff, your hearing, your eyesight.
All right, hold on a minute. Let's get back to the topic at hand, if I may. Okay, so because Michelle's parents did not feel she had good behavior, she was kept out of a lot of social activities. I think that did not help her social involvement, social filtering that she needed to develop. I think that kind of slowed her back, held her back. I agree with that. I agree with it too. I do also. Unfortunately, because it's already adult now, you got to figure out how to get those filters. But the problem is, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be like the people in that picture, frustrated and yelling and miserable because you can't filter correctly. Ask Noodles. Yeah, ask Noodles. You can verify that.
Well, I know. Noodles did a good job of handling you yesterday.
No, I know.
You know, when you started to wander off and whatnot.
Yeah.
And, you know, you started to, you know, Kenny was answering your questions and you started to talk about what you were doing. This guy is busy. I mean, Noodles nipped that in the bud. He said, you know, he's busy. He's got to ask him a couple questions and, you know, like that. That's what a good manager does.
Right. That's
you know,
what he did. He
keeps the main person in check. You know, that was an excellent job by Noodles.
And he had a full store too, so he didn't really have a lot of time. And I didn't want to take up all his time.
Of course not. No. But like he was a good sport. Kenny was, and he talked to you, and he took some pictures. So you know that was, and he didn't treat you disrespectful at all. You know, which is the main thing. You know, he treated you like any other person.
Right.
And that, you know.
And he was respectable to me, and of course I was rightfully respectful to him. Michelle was courteous as an adult. Even as a kid, she was courteous, but sometimes her autistic spectrum tendency as a kid.
There were a couple of dogs there. There was like a pit bull, and there was something else. I think they were inside the store. They started barking at you, Michelle. Why was that?
I think they were inside the store. They started barking at you, Michelle. Who's barking at me?
The little pit bull, especially, was highly agitated.
Oh, the dog.
And he was angry at Lumi or Carmen or Michelle. I mean, he was one of the three.
Actually, I wasn't really actively there at the time. I was just on background. Carmen wasn't there. It was just Michelle, pretty much. And I don't understand when Michelle's by herself. She's not quite as coordinated. That's because I'm used to talking with you.
So Michelle's not a dog person, you're saying, Lumi, right? You're saying Michelle's not a dog person?
Oh, Michelle's not really a dog person, no. She's more of a cat person.
Is Michelle afraid of dogs? Let me ask that.
Somewhat, yeah. Because they got big teeth.
Because dogs can sense fear, you understand?
Yes, I do.
So, especially fighting breeds like pit bulls, they will sense fear and they will go on the attack.
Right.
And that's probably what happened. Michelle showed some fear as a dog. The dog was on a leash. He wasn't going to do anything, but you know, maybe he sensed something coming. Some order coming.
I never really been comfortable around dogs that much. I tended to stay away from dogs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, your dog, I got to know him.
Tino and Wishbone. If Noodles were to bring Tino and Wishbone over, they'd be sleeping in the bed with you two, you know.
Well, when I was over Noodles' house, the dogs actually did lay in the bed with me and Noodles.
Of
They
course.
because I got to know the dogs well, so they knew who I was, and they knew I wasn't scared of them because they knew that I knew who they were, and they knew their kind of temperament. But that larger dog that was there, the golden one, I didn't know anything about that dog at all, and that's
I don't know. Is that a third dog that's in there? One of the other tenants maybe has a dog? Is that what you're
uh,
saying?
I don't know. Technically, no tenant here has a dog. We've had tenants
No.
that tried to sneak in
What
dogs.
golden? You said there was a golden dog
Yeah, it was
at Noodle's
outside when I
house?
was holding up the mega flag. There was a big golden dog out there on the
Oh,
leash.
yesterday. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
That was a golden retriever. That's a very calm breed.
right. He wanted to
Yeah,
be friendly.
that's
He wanted to be
yeah. He's a
friendly.
friendly dog.
Right, they are.
The dog, yeah, the dog was minding its own business. It was with its owner,
Right. He wanted to get
you
close to
know.
me,
And
but I was kind of like, without even saying any word, I was kind of backing away, like, keep a distance, boy. uh, I don't. It's. Yeah, I do have a fear of dogs. Um,
Carmen, what kind of dogs did you have in your life, in your lifetime on Earth, in your last incarnation?
uh, I had a lot of small dogs, like Pekingese, Yorkshire Terriers, Chihuahuas, mostly Chihuahuas,
Toy
most popular.
dogs, in other words.
Right, small dogs. Never got
Toy
into the really,
dogs, they're called.
never got into really big
Toy
ones.
breeds. 'Cause they're like little tiny toys.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not good for anything, you know.
Well, they're good for making noise when somebody comes to the door, so you know they're coming. That's
Yeah,
about.
those little yappers will bark, you know, and
All dogs would bark.
I remember,
Even my mom and dad's black lab would bark at the door too. And my mom had a
well,
black lab,
Major, the dog barks anytime there's a Amazon or FedEx truck,
which could be an advantage
Espe-
actually, because
especially especially if there's a black person. If there's a black mailman coming, he freaks out. I think he was prejudiced when he was a little puppy down in Texas
perhaps, yeah,
because he was beaten with a belt. You know, I rescued him.
right.
I think it was probably some redneck country boy down there that corrupted my little man here.
Well, my mom and dad's
I'm
black
trying
lab
to get him to
dog.
stop doing that, but you know,
My,
if I'm not around and an Amazon truck pulls up and somebody leaving a package at the door, he senses it, even if the door's closed. Starts barking.
right. Well, my mom's black lab was a shelter dog, so he was a rescue. Um, but as a puppy, he had a hard time standing properly on
Lumi,
those.
read the chat. Are there any questions? I
Um,
can't see any of the chat, folks. I can't see anything because I'm driving right now.
so
But
let me
if there
read
are
what
any
I got here on
questions
the
to
screen.
Lumi, Carmen,
Um,
or Michelle, Lumi, or somebody read the questions and answer the questions. Engage with your chat,
all right, I will
Lumi.
right now. Mojo
Why
says
don't you do that right now? Good.
Pipples are awesome. YouTube Nat said, yeah, ditto. YouTube Redwork says, I can't fear doggos. YouTube Redwork said they were the owners of this land. Look at Egypt. Mojo said, my brother's ex-wife was a total Irish. She had a beautiful American purple, pure white, and used to keep it in the boot of her car, and sometimes got reported to the RSPCA, and he was put in a safe home. Um, we have a dangerous dog act here, but it's the owners into who are dangerous. Yeah, YouTube says from that the little yappers are the ones with the most human bites per year. that just don't cause the damage the large ones do. Right, they nip a lot. Yeah, they do. Yeah, that's the only really weapon they got is the teeth. Um,
Those those little yappers also live the longest because they have the easy life. They don't have to do anything. They
yeah,
just sit around. They walk outside, drop a little peanut-sized turd, and then they come in.
right. They don't make a lot of waste. No, but almost as much as Rusty does. Maybe less. No, maybe less.
I don't know. I've seen Rusty's litter box, Lumi, and there are some human-sized pieces in there.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not kidding, folks.
there are some big
I'm
ones.
not kidding. There are human-sized pieces in Rusty's box.
Oh,
I'm talking bigger than a Mounds bar, a full Mounds bar,
yeah,
or a full Snickers.
yeah. You should see Michelle's. They're like, what? Your poo is kind of spotty. It's mid-size. Yeah.
Look at my happy boy. He doesn't know he's going back to the X. He thinks we're going for a ride.
What's that?
Look at my happy boy back there.
Major. Yeah.
He thinks we're going for a ride, but I'm dropping him off at the X. He's going to be so disappointed.
Well, speaking of dog, your dog came over. Your dog saw Rusty, and the dog just said he didn't want to mess with the cat.
No, Major listens to me. He started going in your bedroom, and I called him back, and he came back. He's very obedient.
Right.
You know, but listen, he'll fight Rusty any day of the week, Michelle.
He might.
You could put a muzzle on him, and he'll still break Rusty's neck.
Oh yeah, he could easily break.
Less than a minute.
But I don't think most dogs want to deal with that Italian-sized bred of a cat either. So I kind of Rusty's like a Garfield. He's not.
Michelle, you're overestimating Rusty. He's an old man now. You know.
Yeah, he's an old man.
He's the old ball player who can't get around on the fastball anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, he's kind of like Michelle over the years. It's, he's getting up there too. Yeah. Well, we had a great time talking with that couple from New Jersey. Noodles and I were talking outside of his car with that couple. I was freestanding. We had my walker. I noticed I was having a little bit of stability issue because of the side or the asphalt wasn't totally level, but I did okay.
I saw some of that. I was at the ball game yesterday, so I caught some of that on late at night, watching some of it. I didn't watch all of it, but I saw where you were talking to a couple of people there.
Yeah. And Kenny was nice. He did take the time to talk to us, like you said, and he did give us a sign. Unfortunately, I left.
He works at the airport. He works at the Bradley Airport.
Okay, I didn't quite catch that part, but
yeah, he's a Homeland Security agent.
Oh, okay, he's in some security. Yeah. So let me ask you a question.
So Lumi, if you try to sneak over any yayo in your cooch, Kenny's gonna find it.
Yeah. Speaking of security, the Joe Biden illegal transport to the United States has been canceled for illegals. They're no longer being able to fly into this country.
Listen, they're going to pull out all the stops before the election. They're going to be doing all sorts of shit. They're going to be waiving student debt. They're going to be doing everything.
They may
to
another
get as many
stimulus
votes
check.
as they can. Don't be surprised if they throw a stimulus check out.
Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, speaking of that, we have to go. Me and Krista going down at 11 o'clock on Tuesday morning to sign the paperwork for the renters rebate. And I'm going to go pick up the paperwork from the officer on Tuesday as well at the same time.
Okay, good. I'm glad you're actually taking the initiative to get the renter's rebate.
Right.
It'll be maybe a couple $300 in your pocket.
$700 potentially. $700.
Don't blow it. Save it. Pay your credit off.
Well, that was what it
and
was.
Then save it. You're afraid of putting money in the bank because of your benefits.
I can put
take
it in
out
my bank.
money and put
I
it in
don't
a
have a
jar,
problem with that.
hide it somewhere. Hide it somewhere in the house,
Oh, I'm definitely gonna use it to pay Ally. I could put 700 towards Ally when it comes in. Uh,
Put it somewhere, yeah.
it'll be a good
Is
idea.
this a one-time rebate or is this a monthly rebate?
This is a one-time yearly check.
A one-time. Okay, let me give you some advice.
Go ahead.
Put $200 aside for any emergency that you may have in the future that you can't think of now, and use 500 for paying bills off. Can you do that?
Yeah, I can put some in
All
my
right.
savings account. I have a
Put it in
savings
the
account too.
savings. Don't touch it.
Yeah, I don't usually touch my savings. I usually keep adding to it every month, $20. So I have it set
That's
to
great.
automatically deposit.
Here's a chance to add 200 at least to it. So grow that little by little.
Yeah. So,
What else did you want to talk about, Lumi?
well, obviously we talked about the weather. But let's just say Michelle thinks that because of the warm waters, that she thinks there could be some hurricanes in Connecticut during this hurricane season. Gidgey says no, but I think Michelle's right. I think there could be hurricanes this season.
Well, if you watch that NOAA National Weather Service video that I sent you, it's about 9 minutes long. The guy there, the weather director, says that there's a chance after it skirts the Carolinas and Georgia, it'll re-strengthen out at sea, then come towards New England,
Right.
like Thursday, Friday of this week.
Right. That's
I mean,
what Ed told me too. He said the same thing.
Right.
That he
Right.
thinks it's
So,
gonna hug the coastline.
I understand. Yeah, we're kind of out of the way, but not. This one right here might come our way. It is hoped that it goes out to sea and hits Andrew up there in Scotland.
Goes out to sea, gets a recharge, and of course with more energy.
It's recharged and then past Iceland and then hit the Faroe Islands and then the curves down onto Andrew S.
Right.
And knock some power out for Andrew. That's what I hope happens.
Which easily that $700 could have paid for that. Oh, please. Yeah. Okay, we'll leave that alone for now. Anyway, so because Michelle.
Oh, wait a minute. Mitchell's calling. Let me take this.
Okay, go ahead. Want to take a phone call? Go ahead. Okay, he's on the phone right now. So, yeah, I think that there's definitely a good strong chance that we are going to see some hurricane activity in New England in the next few months. It's not off the table, guys. The Atlantic water is warm this year, so I do think you're going to see that. I agree. So Red may think he doesn't know about the weather, but that's based on trends analysis. That the water is going to be warm, and because it's going to be warm, people tend to forget that these storms can hook into New England. We get many tornadoes here sometimes. Yeah, I can't imagine life without Apollo the dog. Yeah, I can't imagine my life without my cat either. Yeah, that's a good point. So, Carmen, do you think there's any way Michelle could work on developing those auditory filters? I am not a specialist in this field. I'm not going to be able to give professional advice. I understand that. The only thing I could suggest is that she keeps going out there in social environments and do her best to interact with people, and that the people that she interacts with needs to understand that she's making an effort. because she's got a social anxiety as well. That is also her fear. And when people with autistic spectrum, and I do know this, it can compound upon other fears and make things worse. So she has to just work on getting more socialization by stepping both feet in the water, if you know what I'm saying. Agree. Yeah, they can. I lost Geiger 2 months ago now, and there's still a huge Great Dane sized empty spot. It's too quiet. Losing my dogs have been worse than any human I've loved that I've lost. I understand that. You know, Nats, I really, really dread the day Rusty leaves the building. Because, I don't know anybody in my area that has kittens, that would be willing to give me a kitten to make up for the loss of Rusty when that day comes. When that day comes, it will come. You know, I don't know what I would do if I didn't have my cat. You know, my cat's important to me. I know when we lost Fame, we already had Rusty. When we lost Fluffy, we had Fame. So you weren't totally without a cat for a while because there was always an overlap of a cat there existing. Yeah. Or maybe we can find another cat for you in the future. And as far as the one watching my channel on my channel, I know that this is not going to be a major stream. Right now, it looks like you got 10 on yours, which is fine. But I do hope that people realize that we started out with a very important topic. And that is that we wanted to bring awareness to what Michelle has been feeling. After Noodles got a little bit upset with the fact that she misunderstood when he asked about getting some elf ears. She felt like she felt lost and confused because she was trying to do the show at the same time on her phone and wasn't expected to be questioned and be asking about elf ears. But, you know, Michelle does need to get out there in the social environment. She does need to talk to people. Yeah. I normally have 2 dogs, but Hella is enjoying being the only pup. Elf ears, well, thank you very much. They're hot. They do help Michelle hear a tiny bit, so they, let's just take the headset off so you can see what they look like without the headset on. With the hat on. This is the way Michelle was dressed, at the, Trump store. Yeah, just like this. I don't like this strap. It doesn't, you know what it is? What? This doesn't match your head very well. That's better. Now it gets over your brow. So, this is the way she was dressed at the Trump store. Yeah. Make sure I get my ears on, without my head on without pinching my ears. Oops. Ow! I got it. Okay. Sorry. Elf ear, kind of a little bit like an ear trumpet sort of thing to help hear a little bit. Very slight improvement. Very slight. But please put a like in the Likeinator, guys. How many likes you got?
I can't tell. Oh, I can't tell either. So, please make sure to put a like in the Likinator. Okay, 7 likes. So just found it. Okay. 7 likes on Michelle's channel, a couple likes on my channel, and Kick and Twitch. I don't know. They don't got likes in Quick and Twitch. No, they don't.
All right, I'll be right back. I got to drop my dogs off.
Okay. You gotta drop your dogs off. I guess he has to head out somewhere. So yeah, so it was a nice event, and speaking of missing people, Carmen, I really miss you being here yesterday. I miss you being here so much. Well, I have jobs to do. I can't be here all the time. No. But I like coming when I have time. Yeah, I thank you. I feel unlike this. YouTube says, make Silvermoon great again. Absolutely. Of course, why don't you make Azeroth great again? Make Azeroth great again. World of Warcraft, Blizzard can't even make Azeroth great again because they kept missing the target. Are we gonna get into that? Well, we can talk about it briefly. Fine. What's the first thing? No housing. Yeah. Okay, that's true. Where's the housing? Dragonflight, they could have created housing. Why didn't they? I don't know. They didn't. Shadowlands, they could have created housing. Why didn't they? I don't know. They didn't. Legion? No. Legion halls don't count. Or Legion Trainer? Nah. Sorry, garrisons don't count. I have a garrison. You have a garrison. Yep. You're right. Garrisons don't count. So Blizzard keeps just messing up. They just keep messing up. Just it's just a shame because they kept messing up. They couldn't. They can't get the head. They can't get the head together. They Of course, now if you're playing classic like I am, unfortunately, you're stuck grinding. And I'm sick of dying. No, I understand that part. Yeah, unfortunately it's the only choice you got. Just keep grinding and dying. I guess that's life. That's drudgery of grinding and dying, just like real life. It's interesting when you're looking at it. I didn't even think of life being like that. Well, pessimists would see it that way.
Lumi?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Lumi, do you have any tattoos?
No.
How about piercings? Do you have any piercings?
I got both my ears are pierced.
How about your clit? Is your clit pierced?
No.
How about Carmen? I bet she's got piercings all over.
Well, not on this body.
Carmen, come on. Don't lie to me.
Well, I got pierced ears and I got some piercings and tattoos in other places. I bet I know where.
What kind of tattoos do you have, Carmen?
Oh, got some small ones around my butt area and some of my arms. They're pretty high up though, so you don't really see them much. I got those near the end of my career. Yeah.
Why did you get tattoos? I mean, usually that's something somebody does when they're younger.
Well,
You were in your 40s when you passed, weren't you? Or 50? How old were you?
August 9th, 1955. Born February 9th, 1909. So about 48? Something like that. 48.
About 45.
45, okay.
44, 45, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, so you weren't a spring chicken, Carmen, you know?
No, but my bed certainly already had notches on it. Even before she got married. Yes, unfortunately, I have
Hey,
experience.
Carmen, let me ask you a question, Carmen. Do you like pierced nipples on a woman?
Never really thought about pierced nipples. I
I
like
mean, I dated a woman once who had pierced nipples, and she would get incredibly turned on when I licked around the piercing, you know, and stuck my tongue in the loop and pulled on it with my tongue.
No, I don't
Very
have.
perky.
I did not have
She became very
piercings in my
perky.
tongue or my nipples, but I certainly had a lot of experience in bed with both men and women, so I've seen a lot. You saw us making love. Yeah, that was different. That was very different for me to see that. And I appreciate you, Michelle, and Lumi for letting me see that intimate time. We appreciate you actually coming in and joining us. That was fun.
Oh, Carmen, I got to ask you this question. Now, there's a photograph of you and Cesar Romero, and he's spinning you around, and your cooch is showing.
Yes, that was for a photo shoot. Absolutely.
Now, as you know, Cesar Romero later on, 20, 30 years later, he was the Joker on the original Batman
Yes.
TV show.
Yes.
So I need to know, did Cesar lick you?
No, but I got to know him professionally before I was married, and we've certainly dated, talked, spent a few times in the sack. So, in other words, you guys did frolic under the sheets. Yes, I thought so.
So you frolicked with the Joker, huh? You're a frisky little thing, Carmen.
Well, I followed a lot of people in Hollywood, but certainly he was like one of our major part of our acting group. Always, honestly, always seemed to work together as a team in actors. Alice Faye, Cesar Romero. A lot of us worked together as a group. That's a good question. Was that common back then, or was that just because it was easier for you to have a kind of like a group that worked together with? I think it was because it was easier for me, especially when I first started out, and I didn't know English, and I had a hard time. So they were able to have a regular set of people that understood that I was trying to do the best I could with the lack of knowledge of English, which you later evolved and got your English as a second language. Yes. Okay.
Carmen, what country has the best nude beaches?
Brazil. Copacabana Beach in Brazil is where you can find lots of naked men and women. They're not afraid to show it off. No, they're not. I've seen pictures of that. You're right. I wonder what they would say if Michelle came up on their beach. Probably not much now. They would just say, oh shit, there's another one of them. Yeah, there is a lot of...
Is it raining out in Winstead right now?
Yes, it is. It's raining right now.
Because I'm in the New Haven area and the sun is out, but I'm driving towards the west, so I'm looking up in the sky, and there's giant cumulus clouds. I mean, towering,
stratus
like
clouds.
30,000 feet.
Yeah, there's some cumulus nimbus clouds.
They would have to be over your way. They're probably 40, 50 miles from me. But right. I could see that it's stormy over there where you are.
Yeah.
In Winstead.
Yeah.
And Whereas over here in New Haven, the sun is out. Literally, the sun is out right now.
Well, let me show you the actual scene. Oh, that's the go. Turn that camera on. This one.
I mean, if you look out the back of my car or the front of my car, you'll see the sun.
There you go. You can see it's starting to lighten up
Look
a
at the
little
sun.
bit.
Look at those clouds. Look at those clouds on my car.
I see that. Yep. Right, you're seeing the tail end of what we're having. The reason why you don't see anything in the tree picture is because the camera's not hooked up right now. Right. We gotta get back up again. So we have
Michelle, did Mitch not want to marry you at some point?
Did Mitch
Mr. Ed Mitch, no?
Yeah, he did originally. When I was living in Torrington.
Okay, what? And you had him come up, and then you turned him away. What happened?
I was at the Berkshire Cafe in Torrington, and he actually proposed to me. And I said to Ed, "I don't think you're ready for that. I don't think I'm ready for that either, to marry you."
Yeah.
Which I think was a good thing I did, because I didn't think he was ready for that kind of responsibility, considering that I would have lost. I didn't even have the disabled adult child benefit then, but if I did, I would have lost it.
Well, let me tell the audience real quick, summarize what I talked about with Ed. I was on the phone with him a few minutes ago, and he said that he is living in a mobile home,
right,
in a mobile home park in St. Petersburg, and that he has a roommate. The other guy, I guess, owns the property. He's just renting out a room for Ed.
Right.
And he says the guy is pretty cool there, and he lets him live there. Ed said the storm surge is expected to be 3 to 9 feet, not 3 to 5 feet, 3 to 9 feet.
Wow, that's bad.
And so he's really worried, but he knows that he thinks that there was no evacuation order, he said, as of right now. But he thinks that if it gets really bad, that the National Guard will come in and local authorities will come and get the old people like him out.
Yeah,
so he's expecting people to rescue him,
I told him that he should actually find out where the nearest emergency shelter is and just get ready to go.
Yes. Yeah, I told him the same thing. Call 211, ask for that. I also told him to have it. He has a backpack, he said. So I told him to have a backpack with a change of clothes,
right? His
money, his wallet, his important papers,
right?
A couple bottles of water, right? A roll of toilet paper, and be ready to grab it and go at a moment's notice.
Absolutely.
If he's sitting there and the front door barges open and a 4-foot wave of water starts sweeping in, grab that backpack, keep it over your head, keep it dry, and get out of that house.
Or if the county immediately is saying is voluntary evacuation, is just since he's in a mobile home park, he should heed the warning.
It's really dark out your way, Michelle. Is there thunder and lightning, Michelle Lumi?
There was earlier. There might still be some. Let's see if the phone shows any activity right now.
It looks dangerous out there, to be honest.
Let's see what we got here. I guess this kind of counts.
I'm driving north now, so
I got it.
I don't know if people can see my driving, but I'm driving north.
Right
so
now it
Michelle
just shows rain right now.
Where I am.
Right now it just shows rain right now, but rain stopping in about 48 minutes. However, if you look down here at the little map, you can see that there's a band of
Lumi,
rain.
what's your favorite pizza topping? Let me ask you that, Lumi, since it's your show, Lumi.
My favorite.
What's your favorite pizza topping?
Sausages. Yeah.
Okay, I like pepperoni and sausages myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good mix. Pepperoni sausage.
Right.
Maybe some green peppers on it.
Yeah, that's okay. Oh, my green peppers.
You know, I don't really like onions on my pizza.
Not really, no.
No,
Michelle's stomach can't handle the onions because
I
it's
don't like. I mean, I like red onions with like a sandwich or a hot grinder, you know, that kind of thing. If I have like a steak and cheese, I'll, you know, red onions would go good with that, along with jalapenos and some sriracha sauce.
Michelle's more into, I'm more into mild food.
Carmen knows what sriracha sauce is, don't you, Carmen?
Yeah, there's different variations of it and different levels of spiciness. Yeah.
I like the ultra hot, Carmen.
No, not me. No, I'll tell it mild. I don't like it super hot.
Ghost pepper hot. That's what I like.
Then you might be more related to Mexican because I don't tend to eat a lot.
Well, you know what? It keeps my gut healthy by destroying the bad bacteria that might be in there, you know, from eating processed foods.
Whoa.
So I do have a bowl of cereal every now and then. You know, Michelle, that's all she eats is 3 bowls of cereal every morning.
2. She eats 2. And
Michelle, you eat a giant bowl. 1 bowl counts as like 2. You eat 2 bowls, so you're really eating 4 bowls of cereal. And I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt by assigning 3.
If you go by actual bowls, it's 2. So yeah, it's
if
about
they
4
were
cups.
to check the ounces on those bowls, I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, she eats 4 bowls of cereal.
For
every
1
morning.
cup bowls of cereal, but it's 2 big
4
bowls. Yeah, so it's
2 big bowls equals 4, you know, normal bowls.
You ever wonder why the fact is that Michelle's weight still staying pretty stable, even though she eats that much cereal?
I know why, because she doesn't get enough exercise.
Oh, she does, though. That's just it. Just didn't notice it.
No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. She burns. Here's a simple equation. Michelle burns fewer calories than she takes in. That's why she's not losing weight.
I disagree.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah, but Michelle is losing weight, though. It's just that it's not super fast, but
oh,
she's
really?
Yeah.
You want to step on the scale and we could track
Take
this?
Take a look at us sharing camera.
Look how dark it is over there. I'm driving towards Hartford.
Oh, I know it's dark over there.
You might be hitting rain soon, guys.
See, I'm not as chunky as I used to be. Well, still working some more weight loss, though. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think rain is imminent, guys. Look at this.
That's Winston.
Look how dark it is.
Yeah.
I'm driving north on Interstate 91.
Okay.
In the North Haven area right at the moment. And it looks like it's already raining, maybe just a little further north in Hamden.
Yeah. Well, there's
I'm
definitely
going to turn my lights on.
There's definitely a band of storms coming in here. Michelle.
Lumi, who's the better driver, you or Michelle? Let me ask you that.
The only driving we ever did was in a truck game. We gotta get a controller that works with the Mac so we can play it again. Yeah, I know. No way. But this is.
Michelle, did you know that it's illegal in the state of Connecticut to drive with your wipers on if your headlights are turned off?
No.
You have to have your headlights on if you have your wipers on.
That's interesting.
In the state of Connecticut. The tax you to death state. That'll tax you for any sort of violation whatsoever.
I know that in some countries it's common to have your headlights come on when you turn on the car. So
it is very dark.
Yeah.
It is very dark up ahead, guys. Michelle, do you want me to do a horizontal screen?
You want to flip it sideways? Can go ahead. Let me switch.
Let me try.
So I can switch this on so you can see this.
You see it better?
I'm going to see if I can get this on the screen now for you guys. Google Meets. There we go. Yep, there we go. Yes, I see it now.
I'm thinking these are like tornado clouds I'm driving into.
Definitely is cumulonimbus, especially the high ones. Yeah. Uh, Definitely got cumulonimbus clouds there. Definitely full of lots of water moisture. The temperatures are going to drop this week quite a bit, down to about 24
Temperature
degrees.
presently on my car is 86 degrees.
Yeah, I know.
86 degrees. Michelle, why don't you translate for the European audience?
That's about 25 currently. Right now, where we are, where I am is currently 25 degrees Celsius. So that's like 88. Doesn't feel like 88. No, it don't.
So I'm just a couple degrees off of that.
Yeah. But it's 25 degrees Celsius right now where I am.
Michelle, if you were to go to any to Cumberland Farms, say, and you were to pay for your 40-ounce soda in English pounds, you think they would give you a hard time?
Depends on where they come.
I mean, do they say that's £2 or what do they say?
Yeah, they would probably say it's about £2. Actually, it's probably about £1, actually, or about £1. Yeah.
Yeah, so £1.
Yeah, it's about £1 in.
Do you have any quids? Do you have any English quids to pay them with, or no?
No, I don't.
You know, you can go to your bank and you could order some. Start paying an English quid.
Yeah, sure, I could order some, but what would I do with it? Good question. I don't know what you would do with it.
It is terribly dark. I'm going by Hamden, Connecticut at the moment, approaching Wallingford.
I'm glad that I am definitely glad that the UK got rid of the pre-decimal currency in 1971.
Michelle, I'm gonna issue a challenge to you, Michelle, and to Lumi. I'm gonna get you £10 in single quid. Maybe if they have a £2 bill, and I want you to go and try to pay for something at Cumberland Farms with it and film it. See what happens.
They won't accept it.
I mean, have American money anyway, but see if they'll accept it.
Oh, no, they won't accept it.
Hi, why don't you try that?
Thank you for the follow. Let's welcome. Thank you for the follow. Got a new follower today.
Somebody else trying to get on the panel?
All right. What an intro. Wrong button. That's still cute. That's still cute. The wrong button was cute, though. Yeah. Well,
somebody else trying to get on the panel?
No. That was somebody just following us on Kick, and Michelle accidentally clicked the wrong button.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
And now it's starting to clear up here.
Yeah.
It looks like it's over on your side of the state, Michelle.
Yeah.
Why don't you clear this up? What's the matter? You don't have any power this time of year?
No, I don't.
Look how it is on the left-hand side of the screen. That's where Michelle is.
Right. I know.
It's like ominous and dark over there, you know. Many demonic forces, I think, are at play.
No, they're not. It's just, that's the band of the weather. We say it on the phone, too. It's the band of weather. It's coming in. Let's show you that. There it is, a close-up of it.
Carmen, let me ask you, is Carmen still there?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Carmen, which musical artist would you like to bang? Male or female? Which one?
That's an interesting question. I like Gloria Estefan's music. She's older now, though. That's fine. No, she's still good. I like her style.
Yeah, she's older now. She's probably dried out. I mean, how about a younger one?
I don't know any of the really younger ones. Some of them are just...
How about somebody like Taylor Swift?
I don't know much about Taylor Swift.
Carmen, you think you would go down on Taylor Swift?
No, I don't think so. No. No. Probably not. Right now, let me
Now
see.
it's dark again. Now all of a sudden it's dark again, guys.
Yeah, it's a band of storms that are coming through. It's coming up from
This
them.
is weird. I'm going to get in the middle lane because I got a couple idiots riding up on my ass. And I'm going to let them go by here.
You also see your video is getting a little choppy too.
Is it now?
Just a little bit, but it
I'll
sounds
clear
good.
it.
So it's kind of must be having a slightly weak video cell site, but your audio is fine.
Yeah, once I get over this hill, I'll be okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's a bands of storms coming in and out. I noticed that looking at the trends analysis.
Michelle, do you think Hoffman's Guns is still open on the Berlin Turnpike?
I have no idea.
Can somebody in the audience check and see if Hoffman's Guns are open right now? I'll pull down there. I want some ammo. Hoffman's with 2 F's. Hoffman's Guns. Berlin Turnpike.
I can look it up on my phone and see if I can find the information.
What are there? It's starting to rain now, guys.
Okay, let me look at Hoffman's Guns.
I need to buy more double-aught buck.
Hoffman, is that apostrophe S? Guns?
Yes. Hoffman's Guns.
Hoffman's
Berlin Turnpike.
Guns and Ammo located in let's see, Hoffman's Guns for the good guys, Berlin Turnpike, Newington, closing soon.
What time did it close?
Let's see. This says closing soon. Hours are 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Oh, so they're closing in a couple of minutes.
Right.
It's raining now.
The website is located at 26086 Berlin Turnpike, Newington, Connecticut. Very interesting. It's got 3.5 stars. The last person who reviewed them was Cal L. Which gave 4 stars.
I'm in the middle of a torrential downpour, guys.
What's that?
I'm driving 50 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour.
All right. Now it's raining really hard for you right now. Looks like your windshield wipers are struggling. You must be coming into the squall that we're having.
Up to 65 miles an hour presently. 65.
Yeah.
I'm driving the legal speed limit here on Interstate 91.
This is where the storm track shows are.
Looks like I got through it, guys. I made it alive.
Yeah. That's the storm track right there. I can see it.
I am in Meriden, Connecticut right now. Yeah, I'm still maybe 15, 20 minutes away from Hoffman, so I'm not going to make it in time.
Yeah, this is what it looks like closer down to your area. This is what it looks like.
I was going to buy at least 50 rounds of double-aught buckshot for my shotgun.
Okay.
For my home defense closet.
Speaking of that, have you ever learned how to reload your own shells?
Yes.
That might be an idea if you have to know how to do that.
Yes, I don't have the equipment for it, but my brother and I both did that. I think he has the equipment, but he's out in San Diego, so.
Oh, okay, so it's way out of your way, yeah.
I'm SOL if the shit hits the fan and I'm running out of ammo, but I have enough ammo to last me a couple years, I think.
Well, that's good. Let's just hope to God you don't have to use it. Well, anyway, it's 5 o'clock. You guys are gonna have to get ready for Silver Moon. I know that, right? So we're gonna get ready for Silver Moon. 7 o'clock. The Deanna Carter album, and
What are you playing besides Dina Carter? Are you going to play any Oktoberfest music or anything like that?
we could, but it's not Oktoberfest.
Actually, it is. Oktoberfest starts in August. Sheldon, didn't you know that?
We can play some Oktoberfest. We're not gonna play
Oktoberfest is all the entire month of September and late August. I mean, so we're a couple weeks early, but
Yeah.
I mean, what else did you have planned to play? Were you going to play something else?
Oh, just randomly just grab some records out of the stack and just like
Grab miscellaneous records, huh?
yeah. But I don't.
Okay,
Really,
why don't you grab a couple miscellaneous records now and tell your audience what you pulled and what you're going to play? You know that will
well, you
that would interest them, I think.
You want to play this again? No. Brazilian Festival, I don't think that went over well. We got this one here, which is Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, 2-record set by Elton John. Play that one.
Oh, John's pretty good.
Yeah. We got the original one that
I
Michelle
saw him in
had.
concert.
That's one Michelle originally had.
I saw Elton John play in Hartford,
Michelle's,
2018, I think.
Michelle's original is Fifth Dimension album. But you know what? And then, of course, we got the Billy Joel Piano Man album. And then we have... these are records that were already sitting up here in the queue originally to play. We never got to them yet. But,
Well, yeah, why don't you play some you haven't played yet, you know?
we'll play
Play
those
something
ones.
you haven't played yet. That's a good idea.
Yeah, we haven't played those.
Play something different, because if you play the stuff you've already played, you know, the shows are all the same.
Well, we tried
So
to...
pull a couple that you haven't played yet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, see that lightning, guys? Oh, my goodness.
But here's something that we
That was
run
just
into.
over the hill. That was just over the hill, guys.
Well, what I was going to say is the one thing that we noticed is that even when Michelle starts a show, she'll start with 8 people. In less than a minute, she'll go to 0. And then she'll go to 2. And then at 9:45, she goes back to 14. It's almost like Kick is doing something. Kick is...
Are you doing a night show tonight?
Yes, the show's tonight at 7 o'clock.
Michelle, this is to Michelle. Michelle,
Go ahead.
I strongly suggest the night show. Why don't you call in and talk to Ed for about 5 or 10 minutes and let him fill you in? Because that's something different on the after show that people would probably want to hear from Ed. You know?
Oh,
You know, Ed had a lot of his own fans, you know. Train man Ed.
well, let's see what we can do. Maybe we can open up EJT tonight. Maybe.
Yeah, open up BJT. You know, if I'm lying around in bed, I might come. No, I don't want to hog the limelight. You know, let somebody else come up.
So right
But
now,
I think you should talk to Ed and let the people hear Ed's voice. Let people know he's okay. Because people think he's dead, and he's not dead.
he's not dead.
Yet.
I'm going to be calling him tomorrow, guys, in the afternoon, actually. Because I told him I had the afternoon free. So, I don't know if he necessarily wants to be on panels and the live shows anymore because of what happened in the past, but we can certainly see about calling him from the studio and record it with his permission. Because the problem is...
Well, I mean, just have him on for a few minutes. You know, because let him tell you how things are going. He said it was raining really, really hard when I talked to him about a half hour ago.
Yeah, but it is raining hard. He's probably got the bands coming in from the storm.
And he says that's just the beginning of it, he said.
Yeah, I know. Did you hear that awesome sound of that window or that ceiling fan he has?
No, I didn't hear that.
Oh, he has this awesome
Oh my
ceiling
God.
fan that makes the
I almost got
coolest.
hit, guys. I
No,
almost got hit. I felt tingling on my arms. That was close.
what's
It had
that?
to be like a few hundred yards away. That lightning strike.
Oh,
The hair
really?
stood up on both arms
I didn't,
when that lightning went off.
I didn't even see that, but yeah, he has this one ceiling
Oh my
fan that
God.
makes this most awesome sound pattern. I never heard it before. It's like.
Well, it's got a swish going on. Maybe it's cutting the air that way from where the phone is.
Um, yeah, it's just that's he said that's from the ceiling fan.
Well,
He
I hope
said,
that's keeping the place clean of those roaches. Those Florida roaches are ginormous.
"Oh, I don't know about that. I have no idea what
They're
he's."
they're they're literally the size of mice. Like 4 inches, 5 inches long. Those
Yeah, they can get really
Florida
big.
cockroaches.
They're really big. Yeah,
I mean, I hear the Cubans eat them as a gourmet.
yeah,
They
they
fry
do.
them and
They do eat them
they
as
fry them in chicken grease.
They're not the only
No, they
people
fry
that
them in
eat.
chicken grease.
They're not the only ones who eat them though. There are other
Carmen,
countries.
what did you ever eat a Florida roach?
No, but Jamaica and down
Carmen, what
in
was the most exotic food you ate in your lifetime? Did
well,
you eat Did you eat any monkey brains down in South America?
not really, but
Well, not
we have
really.
our
That sounds like you did.
we have our own food down in Brazil, and Rio what we eat. Rat is not necessarily off the menu, especially in the favelas. They didn't have lots of rats. And we also
Carmen, let me ask you this: how do you marinate a rat? What do you use?
I don't know. I never actually cooked it. I mean, but I do know you gotta strip off the fur and then um, preserve it, clean it, preserve it. You don't
I,
get a lot of meat
yeah,
on
I
them.
think you'd have to wash all the worms out of them, and then
Yeah,
probably
but a lot of
you
times
know
we
uh,
eat a lot of
rinse
bigger.
it, rinse it, rinse it with grain alcohol just to be on the safe side, and then
Yeah,
maybe marinate it in laying parents for a couple weeks. I think.
I know that in the Amazonian region they tend to eat a lot of kookaburra, a lot of bigger animals. Um, in the Amazonian regions. Where I live, we mostly eat just mostly seafood and some beef, pork. Pork is big one over there. Yes. The Amazonians eat.
Carmen, did you ever come across Che Guevara in South America?
No.
He was much younger than you, like 20
Yeah.
years younger, I think.
Yeah. I've heard the stories
But
of him.
he was a physician. He was traveling through South America and Central America many, many times.
He also tended
As
to be a freedom fighter as well. He was
he tended to the lepers in, I think, Paraguay, maybe.
right
There was
to.
a leper colony
In fact, Fidel
that
Castro took a
Che Guevara tended to these poor, unfortunate people.
yeah. Well, I will say
Carmen,
one.
have you ever been to
I will say
Paraguay?
one thing though is that people ask me what does my Michelle's apartment look like compared to a standard Brazilian favela. It's very similar,
Oh, Carmen,
except
let me ask you this:
it's not
did you see
houses.
any? Carmen, let me ask you this: did you see any blonde-haired, blue-eyed, German-speaking people in Brazil or
Yes,
Uruguay
yes,
or any of
they
those
did.
countries?
They tended to stay near the Chile area, which is on the lower part of
They
Brazil.
did. Oh,
For some reason, the Nazis seem to like to
did
stay
you
there.
happen to make the acquaintance of Dr. Mengele?
No, I did not. No, I did not. But I do
How
know.
about what's his name? Robert Borman. Did you meet him?
No.
Oh,
But I do know for a fact that one thing about Brazil, even to this day, is you have a lot of Italians and Japanese in Brazil. And
Carmen, which nationality are the most annoying to you?
Americans for the most part, because some Americans don't want to learn to adapt to the culture that they're in. They keep trying to say that they want everybody to speak English. And
what about Chinese, Carmen? Are Chinese people very annoying?
Not to the same level, no.
I don't know about that. I have to disagree with you, Carmen. I think Chinese women are the worst. They're very pushy and
I call them pushy, but in Brazil,
drivers, I tell you.
In Brazil, I'll tell you one thing. You don't get very far being pushy in Brazil, especially from what I found out later on with the drug kings. When me and Michelle watching about the special about the favelas, we don't like pushy people, but we don't like to actually push back. No, you don't. In fact, that's one of the problems with Brazil is you got a government that actually is scared to do any action at all. Unfortunately, the new government Brasilia wasn't existing when I was there, but the federal government of Brazil is just a bureaucratic nightmare. From Michelle showing me videos of what it's like now.
Carmen, what do you think of the destruction of the Amazonian rainforests?
I'm not really into that. Just, I think it's...
You're not political, Carmen, no?
I don't really like the idea that we're destroying what is...
Oh, I see. You're not into that. You mean you don't agree with it. Okay.
I don't agree with the destruction of the Amazon, no, but I do know the reason why some of it happens is because we need growing space for food. Because we have rich soil, which makes it possible for us to be a larger major food producer in the southern hemisphere. In fact, that's one of your big markets, other than tobacco and coffee. And sugar.
Carmen, where did you spend your winters? Did you spend it down in Brazil, or did you go to the French Alps? Where did you go?
I mostly stayed in the United States near the end. I went down once in a great while to see my family. I didn't stay down there very much. A lot of people in Brazil that I became too Americanized. It must have been like a slap in the face. Yeah. Considering the fact originally you were from Portugal. Yes. That's kind of weird. So what do you think would happen if Michelle moved into a favela in Brazil? Do you literally answer that question? Yeah, I'm asking you a question seriously. I think she'd be dead. Especially if she gets stuck in some of the worst of the worst. There are tourists that are living in the favelas, but you better know where you're going before you say I do and start paying wheels for rent. Unless Michelle's got good brain. She's got brain, yes, but is she ready to deal with having to work with the with the drug lords? The favelas can be very tough places to live. They have their own police force, so to speak. They're the drug dealers and the drug lords and the armies. What were you surprised to hear about the Brazilian army's places, nature of high mortality rate of killing civilians compared to...
I know that there's literally hundreds of thousands of people that just disappear.
Yeah, we did see that.
In Brazil, they get taken away and you're never heard from again.
Some get lost in the drug battles. Some are hurt in the crossfire.
That's what happens in countries where the population is not armed.
Right.
The government takes advantage of them.
Well, in this case, you got...
Carmen, what kind of pistol did you carry?
I didn't really carry any kind of weapon. I didn't in California. I just But I had people that did watch out for me. I had security
I don't
detail.
believe you, Carmen. I think you had at least a Derringer in your titty purse, in your bra.
No, not in my bra. Or if you had a
44
firearm,
double shot.
if you did
Double
have,
shot 44
if you did have a
Derringer.
firearm, where would you pack it?
Blow someone's head clean off.
I think she would probably be a person that would have a very small little pistol, to be honest with you. I don't think she would be carrying a big, large.
Well, a Derringer, Michelle, is a small pistol. That's why I said.
All right.
It could literally fit. It's like maybe 3 inches long.
Yeah.
If that. And it easily fits inside of Carmen's, bra. The problem is it might get caught on one of her nipple rings as she's trying to yank it out.
Maybe, but that's probably why I didn't have nipple rings. Maybe that's a good reason.
Plus you might get some titty sweat on the gun and on the ammunition. It might rust out.
Well, like I said, I didn't normally think about that, but I had my bodyguards and my protectors. Well, we're getting running late, so we got to get ready to get started for tonight. But we're gonna put some music on, and everybody unkick.
In other words, ladies and gentlemen, Michelle's hungry and needs to eat.
Oh, I can put pizza or something on later on. Probably just make those.
Michelle, you want to eat some big dinner right now. You want to eat a big dinner. You probably want to drop a deuce before you start your radio show. That's what you're gonna do.
I already did that already.
Be honest with your people.
You know what?
Be honest with your audience. Say, look, I'm starving. I gotta eat.
Oh, I know. I already peed, so I'm all set with that before I came on. But I probably could do
I know.
Another freshen up before I get started with Silver Moon Radio. And
sometimes it's hard for me to pee in the morning when I have my morning wood.
Yeah, I don't know much about that.
I kind of have to lean over on one leg up in the air.
TMI. Too much information. By the way, women get morning wood too. Yes, they do. Most men don't know that. Yeah, they don't. So, everybody who's watching this on all the networks, first of all, for the ones on Kick, the Kickies out there, we are going to be live here on Silver Moon Radio, AM 1610, in a short bit, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. For the Twitchies, the same for you. We will be live at 7 o'clock. For the YouTubies, you gotta watch us on Kick or Twitchies, because we do not do the show on YouTube. No, definitely not. So, if you want to be part of the fun, come on over to the Kick Show and join us. We're going to do the after show and just kick like we did last time, or we're going to do it on YouTube. We're trying to grow the Kick channel too. That's the problem.
Okay, remember to keep Ed's phone handy and call him on the after show. So I think you'll get a lot of viewers that want to ask him a question or this or that.
Well, let's just put it this way. It's not impossible to have a live EJT show afterwards. If we do it on YouTube and Kick. We could do that. We could do that.
Hey, Michelle, listen to me. Why don't you send Ed in a text message the EJT link so he can come on your show?
He doesn't know.
That'd probably be the easiest thing.
He doesn't know how to do any of that.
Okay.
You know how Ed is.
Try it. I mean, he's not that stupid, is he?
Don't underestimate his stupidity. Trust me, Michelle tried to get him on her show many times, and she had to constantly show him how to do it, and he keeps forgetting how.
All right, guys. I'm almost home here.
All right. So, for now, Stan, we're going to let you go. And stay safe, okay?
All right, guys. Take care.
All right. See you later on.
Hasta la vista, amigos, señoras, señores.
Yeah. Yep. Arrivederci, as Michelle was saying in Italian.
Adios.
Arrivederci, adios. Yep. Till we meet again. Bye-bye.
Nasvidami.
Yeah.
Nasvidami.
Nasvidami. Okay, so everybody, tonight is Silver Moon Radio AM 1610 on Kick in Twitch. And Michelle would love you to be a part of it. You don't have to love everything in life, but it's free music and it won't hurt you any to be part of that show. We'd love to have you all be part of that show, guys. We can get 14 people at the end of a show at 9:45 at night. Well, I don't know. We can't get 14 people to stick around during the actual show. Great question. Bad answer. I want to know that. I don't either. I can't say. I don't know either. But for everybody, for now, you have to get ready for that. And thank you all for coming. I guess we all forgot the original reason we had the show. Not everybody forgot it. The most important thing, Michelle, is that if you're going to get over this hearing issue and auditory processing sensory situation, is you're just going to have to stand up and brave the complaints when they can't hear you, when you can't hear them. And just tell them, listen, I'm doing the best I can, trying to learn how to develop filters as 56. That's all you can do. Yeah. But for now, everybody, you don't have a music for the end of it. No, we don't have music for the end. So, I'll just grab it up then. Oh, I can use my credit song. Let's do that then. Until then, later on, I'll see you all tonight at 7 o'clock. I will be going to take care of my client, but I will be by checking on things every so often. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye, everybody.